A.J. Brown. Have you heard that name before, Eagles fans? Yeah, we're going to talk about him a little bit more. But the reason we're going to talk about him because I find this kind of interesting and a little more insightful than something that we've been getting from the typical sports media cover in the NFL all of this time. We're going to hear a little bit from maybe about a minute and a half, 2 minutes of thoughts from Asante Samuel, who of course is going has a interesting perspective. Maybe it's not interesting perspective, interesting background in terms of being someone to talk about this particular topic, because of course we know New England Patriot was a very, very important player for the New England Patriots, and of course, spent some quality time right here in Philadelphia and was very, very productive when he was here in Philly as well. So it's kind of interesting to have him be someone that's going to talk about the A.J. Brown situation and how things ended in Philadelphia and him going to the New England Patriots. And of course, how they are talking about how wonderful it is, kumbaya in New England. Okay, so let's take a listen to some of things Asante Samuel says here because I find them very, very, yeah, fascinating. I was about to say maybe fascinating is over the top, and I should just say interesting, but it is kind of fascinating, especially when I listen to what everyone else in the media has been saying when it comes to Asante. I mean, when it comes to AJ Brown and the time in Philadelphia. And yes, he will at some point even address the whole Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown stuff as well. Not the specifics of their relationship, but in terms of the media's response to who is the problem in Philadelphia. By the way, real quick, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe. Helps out tremendously. I know I say it all the time and it seems annoying, but really, without it, the channel doesn't exist. I mean, it might technically be around, but YouTube's not going to show any of these videos to anyone unless you all say, hey, you know what? I took a moment to like it. I took a moment to comment. I took a moment to subscribe. And YouTube says, oh, okay, this guy's pretty cool. We're going to show him to some other Philly fans and NFL fans out there, see if they like it as well. All right. So anyway, let's take a listen to Asante Samuel.
Jay Brown did not say he leaked Eagle stories to the media. Yes, okay. If y'all heard what AJ Brown, he sat down with the young lady and basically blasted the Philadelphia Eagles. And yes, AJ Brown did not say he leaked the Eagles story to the media. What he said was he purposely pushed stories to the media to prepare his team to work on problems they were having. Now, what I don't understand, what the hell is the difference? What is the difference between what AJ Brown said and leaking stories? It's all the same thing. I mean, you don't have to be anonymous a source and say something crazy, right? If you say something crazy and people know who you are, they don't know who you are, they gonna figure it out somehow, some way. You know what I mean? But I want to know, like, how does AJ Brown teammates trust him after hearing his comments about putting out stories to help motivate his teammates, not leaking stories to bash teammates or things like that? I guess he doesn't want it to sound like that, even though he set the situation up nice and beautiful. He doesn't want it to sound like that. But if I had to trust AJ Brown as a teammate of mine, I wouldn't hold anything against him at first, right? I wouldn't hold those comments against him. But how he handles adversity moving forward would concern me. That would be my concern, basically. But as soon as anything starts to happening, from AJ Brown, now it's time to attack the issue head on and make sure AJ Brown or his issues isn't a problem moving forward where he can't be a cancer to the team.
So much good stuff in here. The first part, because we've seen a lot when that interview thing came out, and a lot of people were like, "Hey, AJ Brown admits to being the anonymous source," and then his defenders are, of course, saying, "Oh, he didn't say that at all." To Asante Samuel's point, what is the difference between what AJ Brown did? It's like he said, AJ Brown, the childish, immature man that he is, doesn't want any accountability for his actions. So he's going to twist it to be like, "Oh, well, I'm helping my team out. I'm a good teammate. I'm trying to make my team better by motivating them by putting this out there. I'm not trashing my teammates." As he said, it is the same damn thing. But even more importantly, and I get New England publicly is going to be all AJ Brown, love to have him here. AJ Brown's been a great teammate. Looking forward to playing with AJ Brown. Get it. I get it completely. It's going to be that way, and it should be. But he's right. If I'm a teammate of AJ Brown's in New England, knowing everything that happened in Philadelphia, I don't trust AJ Brown. Now, I'm going to go out and I'm going to work hard and I'm going to do my job, and my interactions with AJ Brown are going to be positive. But in the back of my head, I'm thinking, this guy, when adversity strikes, when adversity hits, when things are not going his way, not the team's way, his way, I know that there are going to be problems. I don't know how those problems are going to manifest, but there are going to be problems that we are going to have to deal with in the locker room, because we can see it in AJ Brown's history that it is a teammate that is not to be trusted when things don't go his way. I want to finish off this last little bit from Asante here because he gets into the Jalen Hurts AJ Brown thing just a little bit.
I was genuinely confused who and what was the problem when the Eagles had internal conflicts on the team. I didn't know which way it came from. You know, a lot of us assumed it was Jalen Hurts, and some of us assumed it was AJ Brown. Right? It was a little confusing, but all the signs continued to point towards AJ Brown. Look at this. All right, look at this, man. Look at this. Now, I don't know if it's this is just weird to me, but this is some weird shit going on. I'm telling you, this is some weird shit going on right here. Out of all the jersey numbers to pick, AJ Brown went back to rocking the number 1. Mr. Uno. Isn't that what they call Jalen Hurts in Philly? Uno. He went back to rocking number 1. Now, I understand AJ Brown wore number 1 in college. But since he's been in the NFL, the league, he has rocked number 11. I'm just saying. And yeah, maybe he did want to switch back to rocking number 1 when he was traded to the Eagles, but it was already taken by Uno, Jalen Hurts. But after hearing everything that AJ Brown had to say, setting up a beautiful moment, setting up a moment where he's feeling comfortable in his house, I think it was his house. He picked the person he wanted to interview him. So after watching and hearing what he had to say, after he expressed his feelings, it only makes it seem like AJ Brown has a little jealousy going on here.
The number 1 thing is absolutely wild. And by the way, shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles social media person who went gangsta with their post of Jalen Hurts and being number 1 after that thing with AJ Brown went out there. But I really wanted to play this and have you listen to a little bit of Asante Samuel and give you my reaction, my opinion to what he said, because it was refreshing to me. This is something we're not getting anywhere in the media, this sort of calm, look at the whole picture, rational thought process when it comes to the whole AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts saga drama in Philadelphia, however you want to describe it. Because no, with the media, we already knew that the media was going to do what they did, and that was run with Jalen Hurts is the problem. Jalen Hurts has always been the problem. Jalen Hurts can't do this. Jalen Hurts can't do that. And AJ Brown is just this wonderfully talented wide receiver who so deeply wants to help his team, and he's frustrated because his quarterback can't get him the football. When in reality, we all know AJ Brown didn't care about helping the team. AJ Brown cared about helping AJ Brown. Again, I mean, the last thought I will leave on this is the monster game Devontae Smith had When he had what, one I think it was 183, right? 183 and a touchdown, and I think, on, like, 7 or 8 receptions, and AJ Brown actually had over 100 yards himself, but I think he only caught 2 or 3, maybe 4 balls, but a couple of touchdowns as well. Actually had a great game, but it wasn't Devontae Smith, and he was unhappy, right? And he that's when he posted out that stuff about not being used right and everything else. So, anyway, I again, another reason for me to be happy that AJ Brown is gone and looking forward to what this Eagles offense might be able to be doing. And look, I get it's probably not going to start out pretty. They got a lot to learn. They got new pieces and all that. But man, I think it's just going to get better and better as the season goes along. And it's going to be great to not have the drama of AJ Brown. Yeah, we'll get a lot of other drama from the media. We know we will, but that's all right. Let me know your thoughts. Like, comment, subscribe. I will talk to you later.